OKC been kind of been getting little brothered by everybody. Like everybody been talking about how well Cleveland been still playing without their star player. Everybody been talking about how well the Bucks started off, and then even when they wasn't playing as well, they still was being talked about because they like, man, well, since Doc Rivers got hired, this is what they record been. So they still been getting buzz. Boston was the first team to clinch a playoff spot. We know, so we all know. We all kind of had that. Like this is a given. We knew y'all was gonna be the best team record wise. The thing is, the playoffs, y'all. Um, we all been talking about how Ant been having uh, a crazy year. How Gobert been having a defense player of the year, possibly again. How Cat kind of had a resurgence before the injury. How Nas Reed um, been stepping up as a six man. Um, and then you got OKC. Even with we already knew like Denver is the reigning champs, so they're
Mhm.
going to have buzz. But we know how good Jokic is. We know how good Murray is. We know how good of a supporting cast they have around them with Caldwell Pope, Aaron Gordon, Reggie Jackson. So I mean, it's those got like. But then you come to OKC, and we still, man, you show a random person a picture of Jalen Williams, they're gonna be like, "Who is that?"
Bro, come on, man.
Am I lying?
You're not lying.
You show somebody Shed Holmgren, they're gonna be like, "Oh, man, that's that." Man, Kevin Hart had a funny joke where he said, "You snap famous." That's so. I can't think of his name. That's so and so though. That's Shed Holmgren. And then you got SGA, where it's like, I mean, he's MVP candidate, and we still just kind of just like he's the most untalked about MVP candidate. And in my
Oh,
eyes, I'm like, I'm pretty sure OKC is taking note of all this. And I'm pretty sure that's adding fuel to their fire. But at the same time, it's like, how much fuel do y'all have to add though? Because
okay.
you still gotta have the guns to be able to add some actual firepower behind that.
So you see Chris' question because you said they could potentially go in the first round. And you wouldn't probably be surprised. So if the playoffs started today, you think they OKC losing to the Suns?
It's a possibility.
Ray, this is my problem with you questioning OKC. Out of the three, I would think Minnesota probably is the biggest gamble just because we know Minnesota can be boneheads at times. Like their basketball IQ is in question. They have the size, they have the star power, everything, defense, all that. But I question their coach. I question their decision making. When it comes to OKC, I question their size, and that's it. They got great closers, great decision makers. I think Chet Holmgren gets beat up in the paint. Isaiah Hartenstein, that boy was getting mollywopped by Isaiah Hartenstein. Um, so size is gonna be an issue. But when it
They're just gonna
comes
have that
to
boy in foul trouble every game. Off a rebounding alone.
my thing is, I think OKC is very trustable, especially when it comes to close game situations. Uh, Bill Simmons, he was comparing Jalen Williams, and I thought this was an interesting comparison. He said he's a Kawhi like wing player, like super efficient, gets to his spots, and he's stronger than what a lot of people think, and it's hard to get him off course.
I
And
mean,
I
I wouldn't
really,
say he was.
go
I don't
ahead.
think Kawhi is the better. I've looked at him as a two-way Harden.
J Dub.
Yep. When I watch him play, that's the first thing come to my mind. I'm like, he reminds me of Harden, but just as a two-way option. Like he can play much better defense than Harden ever thought. Well, that Harden ever gave effort towards. Harden could play defense early on, but he wasn't the
Oh,
offensive player yet. And then once he became an offensive player, he wasn't playing the defense no more. So we seeing J-Dub as right before Harden just had this explosive offensive game.
The Harden comparison, I don't know, because Harden, even going back to his Arizona State days, he was a special passer. He damn near really could play point guard since day one. The thing about OKC
I'm not gonna compare him completely to Harden, but I'm just saying like I definitely see flashes of Harden in him though, like the driving ability, the ISO when he do get, especially in clutch moments when he do ISO ball, you kind of see it then. Like it's just like, bro, the way he breaks down his opponent, it's like, bro, I can tell you didn't study some Harden. The way he, if you watch how he run up the court, he move like Harden. It's certain things like he's a smaller build of Harden as well. Like he's not as big as Harden, but he definitely has a similar body frame to
Harden. I low key like the Kawhi comp more just because the way he impacts a game, bro. I was watching the Knicks. He absolutely took over. SGA hit the game-winning shot, but J-Dub was the absolute savior for the Thunder, bro. Like every time Jalen Brunson, and this the thing, I'm watching Jalen Brunson, like he had his superstar moments. Jalen Brunson hit clutch shots. Guess what happened? J-Dub came back, answered. Jalen Brunson hit another clutch shot. J-Dub came back, answered. SGA got the last shot. He hit the game winner. But when it comes to knowing the moment, getting to that mid-range, being able to be strong enough to not get moved off your spot and just the ability to pull up, J-Dub is Kawhi-like with that efficiency. Because you know how when the game coming down late and Kawhi get the ball, it's like, say, man, every shot looks like a good shot. It's like, oh, it's going in. Like J-Dub give me that same type, not in terms of like he's because I feel you on the body type of the Harden because Kawhi is way bigger. Kawhi plays a different type of style. He don't handle the ball as much, whatever. But in terms of impacting the game, because J-Dub was getting steals, he was getting blocks. Like the way he impacts the game as a two-way was very Kawhi-like, especially the way he gets that mid-range. That mid-range is so deadly. That shit was looking like Kawhi Jr., especially that Knicks game, man. And I think he's a potential All-NBA level player. Next year, I think J-Dub's gonna be out of there. J-Dub gonna be 23 points per game. J-Dub gonna be in commercials, all-star, all that. He's special. He ain't slowing down. And he basically looked at SGA against the Knicks and said, say, dog, just I got it. Every time he was in the game, they went on a run. They came back from down 10. And then SGA and his second unit came in. They started losing the lead again. Then J-Dub and Giddey, they crew got back in the game. They went back up. Like he's literally, he can have his own team, bro. Just long story short, J-Dub, I think he that special. And I think in a playoff series, we go see J-Dub. He gonna be one of the ones, right? And I just trust them more than Minnesota. And with Denver, they one injury away to any one of their top 6 players, and they can't win a series, man. That's how I feel. They so thin. So? I think so. Well, I'm gonna say top 3 players. You can't lose Aaron Gordon. You can't lose Jamal Murray. You can't lose Jokic, of course. They can't win a series if one of those 3 guys goes out. They can't.
Who will they play first if the playoffs started right
now? Sacramento Kings. They could beat them. They could beat them. They could beat them. But you ain't beating the Clippers. You ain't beating Dallas. You ain't beating New Orleans without one of them dudes. You think they could beat the Clippers, Dallas, or New Orleans without Jamal Murray?
No, not without Jamal. I think they can win without Aaron Gordon, though.
Who go guard Zion? Who go guard Luka?
I'm talking for the Clippers.
Man, bro, I don't think they can lose any one of them dudes. They'll have trouble if they lose KCP. I think they just so thin, bro. I think that they got the best 8-man rotation. in my opinion. Well, now I'm gonna say 5 men. They got the best 5 man lineup in terms of how it all works together. But if one of them key calls go there, nigga, I'm worried about Denver. I'm worried about Denver too. I think Oklahoma City got only one glaring hole. It's a glaring hole, but it's only one. They check every other box, right? That's all. OKC lose to the Lakers. Man, they ain't losing no damn Lakers. They could though.
Go back and watch them games this season.
They could. They could, bro. They could. I wouldn't put no money on it.
What 80 done had his way against them boys.
KCP. Now they can withstand a KCP injury. I'm just saying. It just, I don't know. I found it like you trust Minnesota more than OKC, right?
Out of the top 3 teams, man.
That's crazy. We seen.
I feel like they are the least likely.
We seen Minnesota do a lot of dumb stuff to lose a series. We seen it in the Memphis series. They literally stupefied themselves to losing that series. I don't know, bro. I think if they do go out in the first round, Chet getting his ass killed by somebody. The Chet situation is a real problem, right? To get killed by Isaiah Hartenstein was crazy. Bullied.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think Nurkic gonna do to that boy? Because Nurkic, when he smell blood, he is gonna try to bully you. I feel like he'll get bullied by Sabonis.
Stop it. No.
Man, you seen what Sabonis was doing to AD?
No, he not getting bullied by no
That boy had AD on the ground fighting for some air.
Man, we be praising Sabonis for 10-point triple doubles, man. Let's get out of here with all that 11-point triple doubles. Oh, his double streak. We're getting 10 and 11. Relax.
Hey, man, I'm saying, man.
I'm just saying, bro.
They might have a mid off then.
I trust OKC more than Minnesota right now. Just right now. Because I think Minnesota struggles to score. Like, we don't know what's going on with Cat. I don't know. And then they the 3 seed right now. You don't think without Cat that Minnesota could lose to New Orleans? Sabonis did get clunked by Lively.
Go look. Okay, go. When you find that AD, you're going to find out, oh, yeah, they're going to struggle against the Lakers. If AD can have his way against the big, more times than likely, the Lakers going to win. Now, when AD is neutralized, that's when it gets shaky for the Lakers.
Oh, DJ, I think that nigga Cat going to be back for the playoffs, though.
Okay. If he back, they should beat New Orleans. But then it's like, that's going to be still a tough series.
You want to know why I don't feel like it's going to be so tough? Because I feel like the X factor in that series would be Brandon Ingram. And sometimes just with him, I don't know what I'm going to get.
But see, in the games earlier when both teams was healthy, Ingram was cooking McDaniels. And Zion was cooking Gobert. Like Gobert.
I think Zion going to do his thing. I think they're going to try to zero in more on that nigga Ingram. It's like because you can't have both of them niggas going off and think that you finna stop them niggas. Because Zion is just too goddamn a dominant force in the paint. And we know what Ingram could do when he get hot. Ingram kind of give me them J.R. Smith vibes where it's like when that nigga get hot, you just better hope he miss.
That's the thing. The thing with Brandon Ingram, you can't stop Brandon Ingram just because he's so long. He can get his shot whenever he wants to. It's just if he miss it or not. That's why I think because they put McDaniels on him last game, and he just was cooking McDaniels because yes, McDaniels a good defender. He gonna be right there, and he gonna be up on you. but I can get this shot whenever I want to. That was the KD comp coming out of college that everybody had for. I can get my shot whenever, and
It
it's
just depends
perfectly
if I
built for
make
the
it.
playoffs.
It depends on
Yes.
me if I make a miss it.
Yes. So that's why I think the Minnesota struggles with Pelicans, and they play a lot of drop coverage with Rudy Gobert allowing for the mid range. What's Brandon Ingram best skill? Mid range jump. That's why I think the best chance to upset Minnesota in the first round is New Orleans. That's why I didn't want them to get no 3 seed. But the same thing with the Suns. They struggle with the Suns because the Suns got a whole bunch of mid-range assassins, and it's hard to stop guys who can just get that out. Like,
I think it's really gonna come down to the coach gonna have to get out of his ways. Because if you gonna go against them teams that you know is gonna kill you from the mid range, if we talking about KD and Book, shit, Bill, and then we just talking about Zion and Ingram, like you got to make some adjustments. It's like if they beat you at the 3-point line, then you got to live with that. But you can't sit there and let these niggas just kill you in the post from the mid, from the paint and from the mid range.
Chris, you agree with Ray that OKC the most untrustworthy team at the top 3? OKC, Denver, Minnesota.
Untrustworthy
in terms of they could go out in the first round. Who's most likely to go out in that first round?
I wouldn't say untrustworthy. I would say most inexperienced. I mean, because what have we been talking about with Minnesota for the past 2 years?
Decision making.
They're fucking stupid. We have been saying that for the past 2 years that we know what they got. We said that Ant, of course, was a young up and coming player, and they just stupid.
Yep.
Like we saw, like how many games did we see where Cat kept getting into foul trouble early as hell? Like that's one thing I do remember. He kept getting into foul trouble so early. I can't remember what series he was in, but he just kept getting in foul trouble. And it's like some of the shit he's doing is kind of like it makes you scratch your head. Like, okay, why did you do that?
He'll get in foul trouble in the Memphis series and the Nuggets series last year.
Yeah. So, and it's just decision making, bro. Like I feel like that's what it's gonna come down to, and it's like that only is gonna get better with experience, and I think that's only gonna happen from the players because it's like, okay, at this point, if you keep condoning it, then it's as a coach, you're allowing it to happen. So with them, it's just like, can they make just not so many mistakes that's not gonna cost them?
So right now you will have OKC versus Phoenix,
if I had
Denver
to pick,
versus Stack.
if I had to put it like this, I would still say that of course Denver is up top. Minnesota, I can say like you can still say as far as the talent wise, they all three of them got it. They're just I don't trust them. They are the most untrustworthy, but of course OKC is the most inexperienced.
Yeah, but Minnesota, I mean, they ain't been out the first round either.
Yeah, but they still been in the playoffs, and you can't sweep them games under the rug. Like they did happen, and it's just one of the things. Like you still get experience from them games, regardless. Like yeah, they got knocked out because again they were stupid, but that's still playoff experience where you literally have to sit there and plan for one team for at least 4 games, at least.
So we're not counting that play-in game last year for experience for OKC?
No.
Neither one of but okay.
No. Because the only reason why is because, like, I mean, if you want to say no, never mind, no. Because it was just it's just one game. It was an elimination game. Like
OKC been so good this year in close games. They decision making on point. They coaching be on point. It's like I
feel you, but how many times have we seen that we done seen a team be so talented and so this in the regular season, and then they look just like they don't forgot how to play basketball in the playoffs, or like just some of the shit that they do is just uncharacteristic from what we done seen them do all year. I think that's gonna come into play with the inexperience of that team. Let's see how they get when it's crunch time. And again, you got 4 to 7 games where the nigga's only worried about stopping you. He's not worried about, okay, I got you tonight and then I got so-and-so tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Like all of their attention is going to be on stopping you. So let's see if they just gonna keep letting SGA get into the lane like this. They see if they let him average 30 points in a goddamn playoff series. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if they gonna let J Dub just bully and keep getting to that mid range. It's just something that we're gonna have to see because we haven't been able to see it in the playoff setting. Because Nick, the perfect team I always try to bring up when we talk about playoffs, Miami. Them niggas don't never look like they do in the playoffs. Shit, since Jimmy got there, they always look like, well, Miami, yeah, they a 7-8 seed, but do we really think? And then come playoff time, they all just step up. All the stars that's on that team, they step up and they are playoff risers.
I can't wait till they go out in the first round and embarrass.
But the thing about that, DJ, is even if it do happen, you can only say that's really happened to them like that for 1 year. I mean, I think they went out the first round to the Celtics 1 year. But other than that, bro, it was like
they went out to the Bucks, I think, in the first round 1 year.
Was it the Celtics or the Bucks?
I think it was the Bucks.
Okay, but yeah,
I think it was the year after they went to the finals in the bubble.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think Miami was they was a top seed that year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, bro, that's the team I think of when we just talk about teams being different in the regular season and the playoffs. I mean, we look at Miami and it's like, do we really see anything exciting happen from Miami? How many highlight reels do we get out of Miami through the course of the year? How many times the casual fans see Miami on ESPN Top 10? But come playoff time, it's like they are always in the conversation. I mean, when you just look at all the teams that's been to the Eastern Conference Finals, it's them and Boston. That's been to the most Eastern Conference Finals since 2020 for the most part.
It just I feel you. I really.
So that's why I say let's wait and see when these playoffs come and where decision making and coaching really comes into play, where you got to worry about one team for 4 to 7 games. That's a difference maker.
It just with Minnesota, I don't think they had enough playoff success to give them the experience edge. In my opinion, I give OKC the edge in coaching, decision making.
When you talk about,
and they got the better player.
You can say they have the better player, but we can also say at the same time, we can say experience all we want to, but that nigga Ant did lead them niggas to a playoff, a playoff series. Yeah, they lost. I'm pretty much talking about the year where Cat was hurt for majority of the year. And Ant did carry that tank. So I feel like the experience from all of that experience, I think comes into play. We see what SGA is doing now. We kind of saw it last year happening, and they was 1 game away from making a playoff, a real playoff appearance. But all that shit matters, bro.
This just me projecting because I think SGA is an MVP candidate, and I think Jalen Williams, because since he got there, they've been winning. Jalen Williams, they literally didn't have it's the same team. They added Jalen Williams,
he might be the X factor. So, I said, we will see because sometimes we done seen in playoff series. Sometimes it ain't on the first option. It's on that second star. Let's see if that second star, because that's mainly what it always. Because what do we say? Normally, when you got the best player on the team, they're gonna be the best player on the team regardless. It ain't nothing you do to stop them. But we always see with some of these teams, sometimes that second option ain't really second option in the way that we thought they would.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can. I believe in him just like you do. I mean, I don't think he should slow down, but it's we got to see it.
I think it's gonna be Chet, Chris. I think what's the damn fault? Okay, so he gonna be Chet. He just too damn. He just can't. He's not enough. He can't handle the paint. Little Chris gonna be mad, but he just can't handle the paint, bro. And he's like, look,
the thing about it is when you look at the centers, you got Nurkic, he's not trying to stretch the floor. He's gonna be in the paint, so that's a body right there. Who you got? Zubac for the Clippers, body. Valanciunas, body. Hell, Gafford ain't even bigger than that nigga, but he is bigger than him. But I'm talking height wise. But he's just so explosive that he probably can't even handle the energy that Gafford gonna bring. So Chet is that. We was talking about that before. That nigga is just too small.
He just too small.
And I ain't gonna trust a nigga that got hurt in a goddamn pro.
Bro, he done played all 70-something games this year, man.
Nah, I feel you, but still, you got to show me because I'm
still. He got to show me. You. He was getting killed by Hardenstein, man.
Hardenstein ain't no little ass nigga, bro. It's just
he ain't small. Damn, don't get killed by him on both.
bro, you see that right there should let you know if Hartenstein, who is a role player for the New York Knicks, who's playing because of injury, is killing this nigga. All the coach got to do is make sure they put somebody with some size on that man. If my starter is too small, I'm putting a big ass nigga on him. Because I know it's gonna rattle him. He's just too small.
Okay.
Imagine if Andre Drummond got to eat at that nigga for 7 straight. Oh my God.
I mean,
That nigga
don't think
Andre
I don't
Drummond
think
was getting
Chet.
paid.
I think Chet is a power forward. I think the thing is he playing out of position, just kind of have like AD. He a power forward. He need a center next to him because Chet he shoot 38% from 3. You could put a traditional center next to him. He needs help on the glass and he needs help against these bigger bodies. But until then, if he only big, you in trouble. Jalen Williams is not a power forward. They play J-Dub at power forward. The dude is a shooting guard, really. They got so many players out of position on OKC. They think that shit cute, like the Warriors, but in the playoff time, I think that's gonna be their biggest telltale sign of what they gonna do going forward.
How tall is J-Dub?
Well, that nigga like 6'6".
Hold on, ain't SGA 6'6" too?
Yes.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.